from another planet? Is Janet 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 from another planet?
Today's digital landscape with the spread of false information can lead to dangerous outcomes. It's crucial for everyone to think critically and verify sources and reflect on the impact of what they share. Let's promote responsible communication to ensure that truth prevails and actions remain rooted in reality.
The opinions you're about to hear on this show are strictly those of the panel.
The following program is rated TV MA-LSV. It contains strong language, sexual situations, and violence. It is intended only for mature audiences.
Well, hello everyone. Happy Friday night and welcome to the Friday Night Shit Show. Always lots of shit. Hello, Ruben. How are you this evening?
Good.
Good. I'm glad you're doing well. And yeah, we got lots of more fraud shit that's been coming out. So, which is great. I mean,
So you have your glasses on, you can see the fraud.
we had to got to put it out there, and then send it to the DOJ, right? And then they indict them once they hand them over all the stuff, right? So hopefully that's how it'll work, and good shit will come from it. We'll see what happens, but every little bit helps, and that's what matters. But the first person tonight wasn't the same person every time. Jackie Blue, it was the Woke Breaker. So congratulations. He's the first one to put something in the chat. And I just want to say thank you for stopping in. I really appreciate it. And then she said, hello, Woke Breaker, because she got here second. She's normally here early, but oh well. That's okay. Thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it. And let's see. It's a long way to the top if you want to rock and roll. Yeah, I wish I could play music, but you get in trouble on here. Can't play anything unless it's AI that you made. Then you might be able to get away with it. But hello, Lloyd Christmas. How are you this evening? Yeah, there is a lot of fraud in Ohio. I sent you a few things I thought of stuff that I saw, and I was like, holy shit, what's happened to Ohio? It's got a lot of criminals in there, a lot of stuff coming out. But hopefully tonight we'll share some stuff that you might not know anything about, or have never seen before, because I shared something with Ruben right before we started, and he was like, what the?
Emperor's here.
So yeah, so that's good. And that's what I try to do. I try to read and find out as much as I can about everything before, you know, nobody's talking about it, or before it's on the news, or, you know, if I can find anything that other people aren't making a big deal out of it. But I wanted to share this. If I can, I got to find it and open it real quick here. It's really funny. This was going to be my first thing. I just can't, I don't know what happens. I put it in order and it's not in order. Damn. So give me 1 second. It's number 17 now for some reason.
Well, it's
Okay. I thought this was really funny, and I thought it would be a good opener for tonight. So I'm going to, it's Dr. Oz, and he's being asked some questions. Here we go. Make sure it's turned up.
Move the thing on.
Any medical advice for the Americans out there that are suffering from a very serious ailment called Trump derangement syndrome?
I am concerned about folks who have focused their entire life energy on dislike of the president. It's disheartening to see people lost in that way, but you know, it's
Any medical advice?
Treating stupid is really hard, and it becomes a real problem. And these folks are off.
Do you have
I just thought that was hilarious, because I've never seen anyone ask that, but I think she was from that Lindell, you know, the My Pillow guy.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think it was from his news organization or whatever, but I still thought it was funny. And I wish we had more people that are, you know, in that frame of mind, trying to make it funner than they seem to make it such a drag that nobody wants to, you know, even be in the same room. But this is the thing that I pulled up, and I thought it was so interesting. It's from PBS. And this is what I was talking about earlier with Ruben. And I'm going to play the video because it's their parts of their deposition. But I didn't even know this had happened or it was even going on. It says a federal judge has ruled that deposition videos of two former Department of Government Efficiency staffers can remain online. They're from DOJ, rejecting claims that potential embarrassment outweighed public interest in the case. The former DOJ employees, Justin Fox and Nathan Kavanaugh, testified that they used OpenAI's ChatGPT to identify grants from the National Endowment for the Humanities, which is nicknamed NEH. And I guess NEH is now being sued. So that's why this came up, I think, if I'm making sense of it. They believe violated President Trump's executive order targeting radical and wasteful diversity and equity and inclusion programs. Determinations of which grants to cut were made by feeding short summaries of projects into ChatGPT and asking the chat box if there was any connection to DEI. According to the discovery materials released by the American Historical Association in March as part of the lawsuit against NEH, the DOJ employees appeared to rely on the technology to compile a list of 1,477 grants to terminate. Nearly every active award made during the Biden administration. I just thought that was, pretty lame, but it's not shocking to me. The cuts clawed back more than $100 million, nearly half the federal agency's budget, throwing organizations into turmoil and forcing some projects to shut down because of what these people came up with. Not just these two, but these are the two that they're bringing up, because their videos from their depositions are on this website. So I'm going to play this so you guys can see it and listen to these questions that they're asking.
And I know we talked about it somewhat already, but what is DEI referring to here?
It stands for diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Well, let's start with, what does it mean to you?
It means diversity, equity, and inclusion.
Well, That's the label, but what do those words mean?
It means making decisions on a basis of something other than merit.
Okay. How does diversity differ from equity in that term? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't understand the label itself, frankly.
So right now, do you have an understanding of what DEI is?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your understanding as you sit here today in this deposition?
Well, it was exactly what was written in the EO. And so anytime that we would look at a grant through the lens of complying with an executive order, we would just refer back to the EO and assess if this grant had relation to it.
Okay. But I guess stepping back from your methodology strictly in terminating the grants, do you have an understanding as you sit here today of what DEI means?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's your understanding of what it means?
Well, it is exactly what was written in the EO.
Okay. So,
and I don't have the EO in front of me.
And the rationale says, the documentary addresses gender-based violence and overlooked histories contributing to DEI by amplifying marginalized voices.
Yes.
Why is a documentary about Holocaust survivors DEI?
Objection.
It's the gender-based story that's inherently discriminatory to focus on this specific group.
It's inherently discriminatory to focus on what specific group?
The gender-based, so females during the Holocaust.
And you believe that that's inherently discriminatory?
I'm just saying that's what it's focused on.
Sure.
And this is related to DEI.
Right. But you just used the term inherently discriminatory. What did you mean by that?
It's focusing on DEI principles.
Okay. If you had already been reviewing every grant one by one, such that you gained an understanding of it, why then run all of those grants again through a large language model like OpenAI?
Objection.
I'm not sure.
You don't know? But no one told you to.
No.
Okay.
What did you do at the U.S. Institute of Peace?
We reduced the Institute of Peace to its statutory minimum.
What did that involve?
It involved terminating all of the existing contracts, grants, and firing all of the employees.
So you terminated all the existing contracts, grants, and fired all the employees at the U.S. Institute of Peace.
Objection. You can answer.
Effectively, yes.
So it was your assessment that immigrant would have been contrary to the EOs?
It depends on the grant.
Okay. But you put it on this list because at some point you thought that a word like immigrant might conflict with the EOs?
It may, but it all depends on the grant.
Yeah. But is that why you put this word on the list, though?
It could indicate DEI. It's not hamburger. It's something that may relate to cultural appropriation and DEI related grants.
You don't regret that people might have lost important income to support their lives?
Objection.
No. I think it was more important to reduce the federal deficit from $2 trillion to close to zero.
Right. Did you reduce the federal deficit?
No, we didn't.
You did?
No, I don't believe we did.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News. Donate now, or even better.
Yeah, so that is the videos that they posted online, and somebody was trying to get them taken down, saying that they were embarrassing or whatever, and the judge ruled that he thinks that they should stay up due to the fact that it's the public needs to see it, that type of thing. So, that's the way it is. But I wanted to share that with you. Just give me a second. I'm going to change this to.
But you have to remember something here.
Yeah.
The executive order is to go after programs that promote diversity, equity, inclusion, DEI. Okay. Now,
yeah,
what they're being told to do, here's the thing. These are programmers. Okay. Now, OpenAI, ChatGPT, they're looking for keywords that have DEI in them. These programs said we will promote diversity, equity, inclusion. What they're doing, the lawyers are saying, oh, so then you're going after minorities, you're going after immigrants, you're going after this. No, they're going after the corruption. Because again, the idea of diversity and inclusion is reverse racism. They're trying to do that. So, oh, okay, let's give it to this organization. It's again, the first guy was more correct. DEI is not based on merit. It is based on criteria that somebody says that somebody is a minority or is someone who will be affected by diversity, and they have to promote them. And that's all the lens is. So what they're saying, they're trying to put them in a catch-22 of saying, oh yeah, so you were doing this intentionally against immigrants. You were doing. No, they're not. Again, you're talking to kids explaining what they're doing, but they were going by the executive order. Now, the executive order itself is very clear because it goes through it. It was executive order 151, and it's basically the idea, and it tells you what they're trying to do: get rid of all of these programs that are wasteful, that just are based upon, oh, it's a woman-owned business, or it's this, or it's that. Somebody who no. It has to be done on merit. So then basically you stop the money going out. It's not about why or what the money is going for. It's who they're giving it to stop the waste. That's what they're trying to do. And then of course they bring up Holocaust because they're tying. They want to tie. Trump went after a Holocaust thing to go, oh, so he's Nazi then. So that's the whole idea. It's crap. It's just a bunch of crap.
Well, the one thing is, to me, that hiring DEI is ridiculous is because if you hire anyone that isn't qualified for the position simply because I got boobs, you're hurting the company that I'm being hired for, and you could be hurting or endangering lives. Hiring a woman or a man that's too small, they're not built properly to lift a hose and carry it up a ladder, and hiring me as a fire person to put fires out and to save lives puts people in danger, especially if you have two of those people on a fire truck. And let's say somebody's sick at the firehouse and you can only have 5 people go. So now you have 2 people that are able to do the job because they weren't DEI and 2 that were. So everyone where you went, you're putting them in danger simply because you hired someone who's not qualified for a position. That, to me, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. If you owned a business, you're not going to go hire an accountant that doesn't know what he's doing simply because, he's short, or whatever the reason is. I'm just using that as an example, but you know what I mean. And it's just ridiculous. So, oh, you're supposed to love it. That's hilarious. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, I think it's ridiculous because it doesn't matter what your skin color is when the fireman shows up at your house or the police officer and they've been hired and they don't know how to do the job. You see what I mean? I mean, would you go to a doctor to have surgery from a doctor that was hired because of DEI, or would you want one that was trained and is willing to do the job if you need the surgery? It's to me, I don't know. All of it is stupid.
I have it right here. I have it here. I can read this to you. I can read this to you. It's in sections, and I just pulled it up myself. I just wanted to see what this is.
Yeah.
And it says here, the Biden administration forced illegal and immoral discrimination of programs going by the name of diversity, equity, inclusion (DEI) into virtually all aspects of the federal government, in ranging from airline safety to the military. This is concerted effort stemming from President Biden's first day of office when he put Executive Order 13985, advancing racial equity and support of underserved communities through the federal government. Again, why this executive order that Trump did, what these guys were doing was doing the reverse of advancing racial equality. I don't want racial equality. I want to have the best people for the best job. I don't care what they are, what color they are. I don't care who they sleep with, whatever. It's irrelevant. So it says implementation. The Director of Office of Management Budget, Assistant Attorney General, the Director of Office Personnel Management, OPM, shall coordinate termination of all discriminatory programs. These are discriminatory programs they're going after. It doesn't care. It doesn't matter what the output was. The output that they had mentioned, you're going after a Holocaust, museum. No. Again, the contract that you did, we're only going to take it from the black people, or we're going to take it from this. We're going to do it that. Not going to. This is a red herring. They're trying to put it out there because, again, these kids are just programmers. They're just going by what they need to get done, and again, using ChatGPT or whatever, because it's not using ChatGPT. It's using research. You can use Grok, you can use Claude, you can use whatever. You can use Google. You can do search. You can research stuff. You can use any type of information to pull the information. Let's identify this. Let's identify that. All you're doing is identifying it. And it's just basically wasted money. It's done.
Yeah, and that I'm hoping that every little bit that they've been doing, when you find it and you can cut it off, stopping the fraud there, you're eventually saving money, because the money that was going into that is not going there anymore. And as long as more people aren't getting more and more little loans, to get more fraud money, then the money should start going back where it belongs, into the coffers for the veterans, or for unemployment, or whatever. However it's set up. I mean, I'm not an accountant or anything like that, but I do have a checkbook. I do pay bills, so I understand that if you're taking money out and you're buying a bunch of shit with it, that you're not going to be able to pay your bills. You're not going to be able to pay the insurance on your vehicles, things like that. So to me, that's common sense to want to stop the giant gaps in your banking account from spewing out on the street and you're not being able to use it. So to me, that it's ridiculous. But I'm glad that it's staying up there, because I think it's important that people see the interviews and the questions that they were asked and how they answered, because that's honesty, that's transparency. You know what I mean? And that's what most people have been saying they wanted. So
but
I
you
wanted
look at the comments of people, and people see the half. Again, it was like I said yesterday. People will see the glass half full or the glass half empty. You have people out there saying, "Yeah, these are brave boys for doing this. They were doing that. Oh no, how ashamed that they're racist." Anyway, what is this going on? This is insane.
Yeah, it is. That's what I'm saying. You're gonna get two different or multiple different types of answers underneath, and you're gonna get hate, because I've already had to kick a few people out of here, and they had to wait 5 minutes. I should have made it 10, just to be able to speak in the chat, and immediately they have to be trolls and say stupid shit because they're immature retards, apparently. And I'm allowed to say that because this is my show, and when you talk bad about other people in my chat, then something's wrong with you, and you don't need to be here. I don't need you here. I'm not getting paid. So if you don't want to hear, leave. But I wanted to bring this up because I thought this was really, really good. It's good to see this happening. And it's amazing how many beautiful women are working in this administration, and men. I mean, it's nice to see all these clean cut people that are proud of who they are. And it's just nice to see that. I really, and they, you know, they either look like a man or they look like a woman. You know, it's just nice. It just makes me feel more confident in the people that are in charge because they care about themselves enough to be presentable. And to me, I think that's definitely a one-up for me. But I wanted to play this interview. But it says Trump SBA chief Kelly, I think it's Loeffler, just caught 1.1 billion suspected PPP fraud, freezes 27,000 borrowers in Ohio alone. One state. That is just, I can't get over how much money that is. And 9 billion caught in California, I guess, and 2 other states. So that's great. I mean, it's just little by little by little by little, they're pecking away at it and clearing it out. And then they'll start prosecuting, I hope. And then as they prosecute, more and more names will be let out, and we can take care of more and more people and make these people pay for what they did. Because if they frauded your bank or you or multiple people in your town, they should be held accountable. And I don't think any of these people should not be held accountable. Do you have anything you want to say before I play the?
Well, you have to remember the following too.
Mm-hmm.
When people see this, again, it's Punch and Judy again. Like I said, you can play it. You play it. We'll know this. We'll know what's going on. I don't trust her.
Okay, but yeah, I just want you to listen to what she has to say.
But I'm just saying, people are going to say, "Oh, she's lying."
Yeah, but that's fine. It's when it goes through the courts. That's why it's so important that all of this is open and goes through the courts, and that we get to see the proceedings. It's not like it's a criminal trial about murder or anything. This is about fraud against the taxpayers. So it should be open to the public.
In the country. But they're also our nation's biggest taxpayers. Like every taxpayer, they deserve to know that the programs that they pay into will be there for those who need them, not siphoned away by fraudsters who would rather steal from hardworking Americans than become hardworking Americans. Since day one, the SBA has focused our efforts on the Paycheck Protection Program, which will go down as one of the most defrauded federal programs in American history. During the pandemic, our agency delivered $1.2 trillion that was meant for small businesses, of which the Office of Inspector General deemed $200 billion was stolen, including right here in Ohio. The Biden administration chose to look the other way, giving criminals de facto amnesty at the expense of your taxpayers. But this administration is choosing accountability. Last month, the SBA referred 560,000 borrowers to the DOJ and Treasury. That's over 500,000 borrowers to start collections and prosecutions for $22 billion in suspected PPP fraud. To date, we've announced suspensions for 140,000 borrowers across California, Minnesota, and Maine, totaling $9 billion. And today, I'm here to announce suspensions for over 27,000 Ohio borrowers tied to $1.1 billion in suspected PPP fraud. As you've heard today, this task force is exposing the fraudsters, making them return what they stole, and sending them to jail. The Trump administration will uphold law and order and not protect criminals at the expense of honest, hardworking Americans. This administration is putting up new guardrails for the future, and we will go state by state to correct the past. I want to thank my colleagues for their dedication. None of this would have been possible without the president's fight for the American people, the vice president's leadership, and this team's hard work. There is no fraud too small. And that's why the SBA is proud to help deliver justice on behalf of America's job creators.
To Ohio, and we plan to leave no doubt as to who will win. That will be the team behind me, federal and state partners who have come together as one to battle the fraud crisis that has crippled our taxpayer-funded programs and robbed the American purse for too long. Under President Trump, Vice President Vance, and Acting Attorney General Blanche, the days of brazen thievery of taxpayer dollars is over. With our state and federal partners, the Department of Justice is rapidly deploying a fraud-fighting apparatus that is capable of fighting fraud no matter how big, no matter how small, no matter how hard. In the last 60 days, the Department of Justice has announced more than 550 fraud enforcement actions across the country, representing billions of dollars in attempted theft from the United States taxpayer. There is nowhere we won't go to fight fraud, and that includes here in Ohio. Today, Ohio's fraud-fighting team is uniting with us in historic ways to contribute uniquely to the fight against fraud. Attorney General Dave Yost, you'll hear from in a minute, is advancing an $11 million fraud action through the Medicaid Fraud Control Unit. And as he concludes his service in the Attorney General's office, we thank him for his years of commitment to Ohio and wish him well in his next chapter. The Fraud Division and Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose executed this morning a data sharing agreement that provides the Fraud Division access to corporate registrant data held by the state of Ohio. This data will be used in proactive data analysis to quickly identify ownership links between clinics, labs, and billing entities that fraudsters use and hide behind to obscure control over healthcare fraud and other fraud schemes. We thank Secretary LaRose for collaborating with us today. Auditor Keith Faber continues to set the standard for state-led fraud investigations and for building enforcement capacity and coordination. His office has applied to the DOJ's Special Attorneys Grant Program to detail special prosecutors to the Department of Justice's Fraud Division. And we welcome all state and local prosecutors to do the same and follow Auditor Faber's lead. Treasurer Robert Sprague has formally joined the statewide Benefits Fraud Enforcement Task Force initiated by U.S. Attorney Gerace. His office will aim to bring critical financial analysis capabilities that will strengthen our ability to identify irregularities, prevent improper payments, and safeguard taxpayer funds. Each of these steps taken by these state leaders strengthen our ability to accomplish our shared fraud enforcement mission. The days of information silos are over. The leadership here and the willingness to innovate and collaborate is raising the standard for every other state. Ohio is proving what's possible when federal and state partners move in lockstep. Smarter detection, stronger enforcement, and real protection for the American taxpayer. The truth is, we need all hands on deck in every state. The National Fraud Task Force, the Department of Justice, and the Fraud Division will work collaboratively with anyone who is committed to ending fraud in America and saving the taxpayers' money.
Yeah, see, well, we have to start somewhere, and we can only go so fast when it comes to the courts. And I did see somewhere, I read that they did approve some more judges and a few other positions that Trump has been waiting on. So at least they seem to be moving along, but very slowly, like snails. So you know what I mean? But it's really scary, some of the stuff that we see. But that's just the way it is. But this next thing I want to pull up. Hold on. Oh, I think it's this one. Yeah, here we go. I just love this thing. wanted to pull this up because to me it made perfect sense what they said. It says, in case you're still wondering how this brain dead imbecile got 81 million votes in 2020, check out what's happening in California this week. Just love this picture. I don't even know if it's real, but it made me laugh. So it put a smile on my face because it just looks, and his post. Vince is funny. He posts some really good stuff, and I just wanted to share that. So it made me feel better. I don't know if you got a laugh out of it or not, but I thought it was good. But I thought it was really funny. Boy, it's a lot of trolls out tonight, but I hope they're having a great Friday night. Let's see. I think this was the next one. Yeah, here you go. Like in the chat. Are you reading it?
I'm not really reading it, no.
Okay. Well.
Oh, this gay guy?
Well, there's been 6 or 7 of the weird posts like that from different people. So just like it's time to go out and make fun of people or whatever. I don't know. Okay.
For Hunter Biden, back in the news where the DOJ now argues a criminal oligarch paid off the first son to try and influence U.S. policy while President Biden was serving as VP. Some new documents out there, and Chad Pergram's seen them. He is live on Capitol Hill to take us through this story. What now in the chapter of Hunter Biden? Chad?
Bill, good morning. It's possible this could be the closest anyone has come to showing a transfer of money from overseas in exchange for potential influence over U.S. policy with Hunter Biden. Now, we've heard about Hunter Biden's ties to the Ukrainian energy firm Burisma. House investigators have probed that for months. But how about potential links to Romania? Now, prosecutors in Hunter Biden's tax case say he worked for Gabriel Popoviciu. He is a Romanian business magnate. Now, the allegation is that Hunter Biden and his business colleagues took $3 million in payments. Popoviciu faces a criminal investigation in Romania over a land deal. Special counsel David Weiss makes that very case in his filing in California. Weiss alleges they structured the deal for Hunter so it, quote, concealed the true nature of the work he was performing. Now, prosecutors say there were concerns about ramifications for President Biden. Popoviciu is expected to testify at Hunter Biden's tax evasion trial in Los Angeles that starts September 5th. He's charged with failing to pay $1.4 million in taxes over a 4-year period. The House's impeachment inquiry remains open. Republicans claim Hunter Biden sold his father as the brand and used the president for access. Bill?
Well, good. See, a little here, a little there, and that's all we can do. But I'm sharing the links to these videos in the chat. So if anybody wants to get it, copy it, and look into it deeper, go for it. I mean, it never hurts to have a little more knowledge under your belt, to help you make decisions or share it with people who maybe don't want to, face the facts that are going down or whatever type of thing. But, that's what I try to do. I just try to put things out that people may not have heard about or didn't even know had happened, because so many people are so busy doing things at home that they're missing getting to see stuff on the news or read about it or they only hear a couple of sentences of something and they miss out, and then they spend all day looking for it, but they can't find it. And that's happened to me many times. But this was something, you know how I am about children and sex trafficking, things like that. This made me want to throw up. Every single Democrat just voted against $100 million to fund operations for child exploitation investigations and save children from sex trafficking. Every single Democrat voted against it. And then everyone's pointing the finger at other people saying they're the ones that are covering up everything, when all you got to do is go to the website, the government website, which got 100,000 and more pictures, videos, and documentation from the Epstein files, if that's what's more important than this kind of stuff to you, because this is what's saving kids today from happening what happened to those girls many years ago, because they're all grown women now, and many of them have families. Some of them have already passed away, and a lot of them took money to settle after going to court and getting Ghislaine Maxwell behind bars, and also because Epstein was going to go to trial too, but he's not around anymore. But there was like $200 million that was split amongst the victims. So I know some of them, most of them, got some kind of money, and they took the money and signed non-disclosures and stuff. So I don't know all the stuff and details about it, but on many of my shows, you can go back through my shows. Some of them most of them were on After Hours or Team Shit Show 2.0, which are recorded and on my channel, that have interviews and with some of the victims, talking about what happened to them and things like that. And that's what I tell people. If you really want to help the Epstein victims, go listen to their testimonies. Go find them. They're all over the internet. You can hear it right from them, what happened and what they want to share. And honestly, I saw some stuff when Massey got voted against, I guess, in his state. And then he came out afterwards saying that he's going to release all the information he knows about Epstein. And I said, I just posted underneath his post and said, if you told everybody about Epstein, if you knew anything before the election, maybe you would have won. The fact that you were going to release it after you've lost, when you could have been helping people all along, if you really had evidence, why didn't you release it? See, I don't know. I just hear so many people that are so wishy-washy, but none of them want to listen to the women, the actual victims. And that's the problem. So I don't want to hear shit from any of you. Go listen to the victims and let's try to help them. Let's give them what they're asking for, instead of all this rigmarole back and forth of pointing fingers at people when you don't even have evidence. Get the evidence from the victims. Period. To me, that's common sense. So I just wanted to share that because I think it's ridiculous that we had not a single Democrat vote to give money to investigate more child trafficking. I don't know, but they'll spend $100 million to make a cartoon comic book about being transgender for Africans. You see, it's just, I don't know how this stuff is real, but it is. But here you go. I'm sharing that in the chat. That was the thing. It's showing all these Democrats saying, F you kids. We don't give a shit about you. We just care about Epstein. It's just ridiculous, you guys. Oh, it just drives me nuts. But all right, I'm going to go to the next thing. Take that one down. Oh, sorry. I just get so upset, especially when it comes to that kind of stuff. Just really don't like people that push that stuff. But here we go. Here's something good. I don't know if you guys have heard about this. It says the Heritage Foundation confirms that Hillary Clinton, who orchestrated the single greatest misinformation and disinformation campaign in the United States history, the Russian collusion hoax, the PP dossier, I'm adding that, as a means to overthrow the U.S. government, was directly involved in urging the European Union to use its Digital Services Act to pressure and fine Elon Musk and push the U.S. back into censorship. That's just the opening part for this, but I'm going to play this video. He's already started talking, darn it. Hold on. All right, I'm going to pull this up for you. Here we go. Make sure it's turned up. Yeah, okay.
Speech is in a free fall in Europe. There are two anti-free speech movements that have coalesced. One is in Europe, where it has laid waste to free speech. Germany, France, England. Free speech has been eviscerated. And also places like Canada. The U.S. anti-free speech movement began in higher education, then metastasized throughout the government. But this has all reached our shores now. The Berlin World Forum followed the remarks of Vice President Vance. on free speech, and the EU was red hot. They gathered in Berlin, and it was the most anti-free speech gathering I've ever been part of. There's only two of us from the free speech community. And they are committed. And, Hillary Clinton was there, and she really fueled the anger. I mean, when Twitter was purchased by Elon Musk, she called on the EU to use the infamous Digital Services Act, which is one of the most anti-free speech pieces of legislation in decades. And she called upon the EU to use the DSA to force the censorship of American citizens, force people like Musk to censor. It's an extraordinary act by someone who was once a presidential candidate in the United States. But they are committed to it. And after the World Forum, they further globalized this effort, and they are threatening companies like X with ruinous fines unless they resume censoring American citizens.
To me, it's pathetic. Anything that she says, what Hilda B says, I don't listen to her. She's totally lost any credibility through all the years of lies and bullshit. Before they even stepped foot in the White House, she testified in the state of Arkansas that she never saw the Whitewater documents. And she was at the time a actual lawyer, practicing lawyer, and she swore under oath that she'd never seen them or read them or anything. Well, as soon as she steps in the White House, guess what? They find her fingerprints all over the documents. Voila, nothing happens to her because she's untouchable. And the fact that she had an illegal server in her bathroom, while she was working under Obama. It's disgusting how she looks down her nose at all of us deplorables. And we're supposed to give a shit about what she thinks. I hope if only one person at all ever gets arrested for any of the shit that happened, I hope it's her, because she's the one person that I would like to see go to trial and have handcuffs on her and put an orange jumpsuit and go live the rest of her life in prison. I would enjoy that.
Yeah,
to me, it'd be worth it to me. Do what?
They're not going to do it.
I hope they do. That's the one thing that I've been waiting on, because I just think she's worse than her husband. I mean, she's one of the worst I've ever seen in my lifetime. In my whole life, she's done nothing but be corrupt. All the drug running and shit that was going out of Mena, Arkansas to Columbia, they even made a movie about. She was she was involved in that. I mean, they're disgusting. These two people are disgusting. Just them. If we could just get rid of them and have them in prison for the rest of their life, to me, that would be an accomplishment that, I don't know, maybe I'm too biased, but I can't help it. I just think that woman is disgusting. And, I mean, I've met her in person. I didn't walk up to her. I didn't say hi to her. I didn't shake her hand. She just happened to be coming to an event that I was at. And, I wouldn't even give her 5 seconds of my time. I didn't want to even go near her. That's how disgusted I am by her. So I wouldn't even talk to her husband. So, but I have other people, the Bushes, and I wouldn't mind, shaking Michelle Obama's hand. Honestly, I wouldn't. It wouldn't repulse me near as bad as getting even anywhere in the same room with Hillary Clinton. She just makes my stomach churn. Okay, well, enough of that. Let's stop talking about her. She's not worth my time. But it's a shame that it seems like every time you turn around, something she's got her fingerprints on. But here is another one that I thought was pretty interesting. I think it's the right one. Oh, God, I'm so bad at this. Eric. There it is.
Ooh.
Here we go. All right. Here's another one that I found that I thought was pretty interesting. It says, U.S. Attorney Bill, I don't know how to pronounce his name, Ezelia, is that how you would pronounce it? Reveals multiple election fraud investigations are underway in California in conjunction with the FBI. AAG Dillon is also involved with a voter audit. they're doing it right now. I think that they're in California right now doing something, but this whole thing, I wanted to play this for you. So let me get it set up so you can see it. I can make it better. I don't know why they start automatically, but oh well, that's the way it is. All right, here we go.
In November. Now let's get to this absolute shambles of an election count. It's actually way worse than the president just mentioned. It's not 6 or 7 or 8 days. Here's from the Secretary of State's website today, 35 days. Oh, that's the plan. 35 days. This is an absolute shambles, a humiliation for California. It is making our state a laughing stock here in America and around the world. We have less than 10 million votes cast in this election in California, and it's going to take them a month to count them. India, 640 million. They do it in a day. States here in America, look at Florida, how quickly they get their count out. Within hours, same sort of numbers. They have early voting too. They have mail-in voting too, but they can do it in an hour. Here it takes a month. It is an absolutely inexcusable, calamitous catastrophe of incompetence from the same crew who bought you high-speed rail. Yes. Now it's snail's pace elections. It's not good enough. Steve. And today, David, I'm laying out a plan to change this. Election count accelerator plan. Straight after this interview, I'll be going to a press conference to lay that out.
Well, what's funny is a long time ago in the big cities, I don't know how many years back, but they used to count in one day. So all of a sudden we get all this electronical stuff and nobody can count anymore for some reason. So I don't know. I think it's ridiculous. They should just hire more people. If they need 300-400 more people, why can't they hire them to count? I mean, to me, it's ridiculous. But see, they only want certain people to count. They don't want anyone to count. You see what I mean? That's why. And I think it's pathetic and sad. But, you know, it's just, I don't know. I don't know how we're supposed to ever fix this mess when we can't get rid of the people that are doing this. But see, that's in California. So to me, I'm not shocked by any of it at all. But okay, let me get the next one I found, because it pulled up as much as I could find. It had anything to do with, could be fraud or, you know, scamming or any of that stuff. So let me see if I got this one. It's the right one. I think this is it. All right. All right. This is another one of the things that they voted on. It says, names released of the 18 House Republicans who voted for sending American dollars to Ukraine. 194 Republicans voted nay. And I'm going to share this because it has all the names of all of the Republicans that voted to send more money to Ukraine. You know what? We've sent so much money to Ukraine that every single person in Ukraine could live in a mansion and have a yacht and a nice car. And as far as I could tell from some of the videos that I saw that came out a couple of years ago, was showing people dances and parties, and they had new cars and they had nice homes and all this kind of stuff. So I really do believe that a lot of that money, and that's where it's been going. And we had a guy, their president, come to the White House, wouldn't even put on a suit and a tie to meet with the president after we sent them billions and billions of dollars. It's pathetic. I just don't understand where these people come from. They just think that American taxpayers owe everyone money all around the world. And if it wasn't for us, these people wouldn't even be able to run their countries. I mean, we're pulled out of a bunch of things, and they're probably all going to collapse if we can keep these people from sending them more money when we're trying to stop the flow of money to stop the fraud. But yet we still keep voting, got dum-dums that keep voting to send our money that you and I sweated over to these people. When we said, no, we don't want it to go there. We want it to help our own families and our own country. So to me, it's pathetic and sad, but they're still doing it. These people need to be voted out because they haven't learned anything, apparently, we've been saying it since we're blue in the face. We want our money to stay home. We want it to take care of our veterans, take care of our streets and our towns, and and for our people that are unemployed or whatever we need it for, food stamps, help our people with it. Let people be able to go to the doctor, go to the dentist, get eyeglasses, whatever it is they need. I'd rather see all that happen than one penny go over the border to another country that basically hates our guts. And none of these other countries ever send our homeless people money. You know what I mean? They never send us money to help a certain agency or animals, anything. It's just pathetic. It's disgusting that we are the world's piggy bank. Why? Because we're all such good workers. We're all so smart that we're all working our ass off and making money that we're able to just throw it out the window and to give to everyone. It's stupid. I don't know why we are always the one that is expected to pay everyone else. Let them work for a change and let them send us some money. I would love to see that, but I know that won't ever happen.
Because we have the petrodollar, the fiat petrodollar. That's why.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I don't know. It's just crazy. Okay, this was another one that came across my timeline. I didn't know if anybody had seen it or not. This actor, James Handy, he was brutally stabbed out in front of his house. He's 81 years old. He was known for roles in Jumanji, Top Gun, Maverick, and The Verdict, and was stabbed multiple times in the chest outside his home, or outside a home, it says, in Los Angeles County. He was found unconscious and rushed to the hospital, where he later passed away. They say the suspect is his son's girlfriend's son. So, and they called 911. I just killed the man of sin. So he's had a mental breakdown or something. Because remember what happened with that famous director that everybody called Meathead or whatever? His son killed his parents. So, we got a lot of really messed up people that need help. We need to start sending people to places, insane asylums or special clinics or whatever else to help some of these people so they're not, murdering people. I mean, because they shouldn't be out in homeless camps and wandering around the streets. We need to have somewhere to send these people. But that's another place that we could use money instead of sending it to Ukraine. Help people like this, that are wanting to kill people or that need psychiatric treatment. So there's so many other things that we could spend the money on, but yet it end up going to these people instead. But oops, sorry. That off. Darn it. I don't know how I do that, but I do. I'm going to go ahead and get that one and bring it up since I clicked on it. I didn't mean to, but here it is. It says Obama and Clinton operative Larry Summers has resigned from Harvard amid his ties to Epstein. So I'm going to play this, make sure it's turned up.
Fox News alert, the Epstein blast radius is expanding and more names added to the list. Larry Summers, a top operative for Clinton and Obama, today announced he's resigning from Harvard at the end of the year after getting exposed in the files. And Bill Gates is saying sorry. In a town hall at his foundation yesterday, he confessed to having 2 affairs with Russian women while married to his now very wealthy ex-wife, and admitted to flying on Epstein's plane and spending time with him in the U.S. and abroad. But he maintains he did nothing illicit. The billionaire said he met with Epstein starting in 2011, years after Epstein had pleaded guilty in 2008 to soliciting a minor for prostitution. Gates said he was aware of some 18-month thing that had limited Epstein's travel, but said he didn't properly check his background. And we're finding out U.S. Virgin Islands Democrat Governor Albert Bryan Jr. apparently gave Epstein special treatment just before his arrest, helping Epstein with a construction problem he had on Pedophile Island. The global fallout continues. Prince Andrew was first. Now his ex-wife is keeping a low profile, bouncing between properties.
even checking into one of the world's most expensive wellness clinics. Reports say she maintained contact with Epstein after his release from prison and even introduced him to her goddaughter. The pressure on Andrew isn't going away. Whistleblowers now alleging he spent taxpayer money on massages. Earlier this month, Prince Andrew was kicked out of his home, the Royal Lodge, and he didn't take it too well. According to the Daily Mail, he shouted, "You can't do this to me. I'm the Queen's son." Remember, Andrew stepped back from royal duties in 2019. Why is he still living on royal property? The Times of London obtained a copy of his lease. Apparently, he hasn't paid rent in 2 decades. He's an international embarrassment. Pranksters hung the prince's arrest photo inside the Louvre in Paris. The Epstein bomb is hitting every corner of the earth. Norway's former prime minister, you know, the one who awarded Obama the Nobel Peace Prize, also known as, quote, Mr. Human Rights, was just charged with gross corruption. They're investigating if he accepted gifts, travel, and loans from Epstein. He says he's innocent, but he's in the files, telling Epstein this: if Trump wins, I'll settle on your island. And he just checked himself into a hospital due to the strain arising in the wake of this case. Maybe he could visit Fergie at that wellness hospital. Now, the British government is about to unseal more documents tied to the former ambassador to the U.S., Peter Mandelson, who was arrested in the Epstein investigation. New emails appear to show Mandelson leaking sensitive information to Epstein. He also says he's innocent, but here he is in the files in his underwear. Why do we know so little? Well, documents show that in July 2019, days after Epstein was arrested, the FBI told the NYPD's sex crimes unit to, quote, stand down. Quote, FBI reached out to NYPD leadership already, and they were told that SUV has been directed to stand down and that all Epstein stuff needs to go to and through us. This was right after Epstein was arrested, as New York prosecutors were actively trying to interview victims, build cases, look at co-conspirators. Why cut them out right then? Was that standard procedure or something else? Plus, a 2020 DOJ email refers to a confidentiality agreement that the chief medical examiner signed in connection with the murder of Jeffrey Epstein. His death was ruled a suicide. So why was the DOJ using murder internally? And why was the chief medical examiner being forced to sign an NDA after doing the autopsy? We may be about to learn even more. New reporting suggests Epstein may have stored documents in storage units across the U.S., potentially containing materials the public's never seen. And tomorrow, Hillary is scheduled to testify in a closed-door, recorded deposition. Friday, Bill's up. Hopefully they get their story straight.
Yeah, we'll see, won't we? So there's a little here, a little there coming out, but that's all we can do is just share what we get and try to pay attention to see what might be new and what we don't know about yet. But let me share this next thing. Where is it? Number 14. Right here. Okay. Here's another one that I found. Okay. There's two of these ones that they have to do with fraudsters. It says it's been revealed that fraudsters' assets have been seized by law enforcement. This CBS reporter noticed that the warehouse is filled with Mercedes and luxury vehicles. So I just thought this was interesting because there's two different ones to do with this kind of stuff. So here we go.
I wish I could show you what's behind here, but I can describe. I've seen over a dozen Ferraris, Lamborghinis, a Bugatti, Lotus, several G-Wagons. These are just some of the assets the government has seized from fraudsters who have taken your taxpayer dollars and bought some of these ill-gotten gains. LA's top federal prosecutor, Bill O'Salley, showed us around this U.S. Marshals warehouse.
It should offend every American taxpayer that these people are taking advantage of the system and enriching themselves.
These items had been owned by Paul Randall,
who pleaded guilty to wire fraud this year in one of the largest Medi-Cal fraud cases in California history.
He submitted above $270 million worth of claims to the state of California through Medi-Cal. He was paid $170 million.
$170 million of hard-earned tax dollars.
That's correct. And what's most egregious about this is it was basically no questions asked. He basically exploited a loophole in the state's processing system.
That loophole, court records show, meant healthcare providers got reimbursed for prescription drugs that were not medically necessary and often not even given to patients. But where did all the stolen money go? Authorities say it paid for Kobe Bryant game-worn sneakers, baseball cards of Jackie Robinson and Mickey Mantle.
Very expensive taste, very rare, near mint condition, collectible sports cards purchased with taxpayer dollars.
Asalee also showed us Randall's home, one of 7 properties he owned.
Let me tell you what a piece of work this Randall guy was. He's got 6 prior convictions for fraudulent conduct, and he was out on bond waiting sentencing when he started this new scheme.
He was effectively on bond when he
Yes.
decided to defraud $170 million more.
Yes, it's crazy.
Who's responsible for the breakdown of the system?
Obviously, there's a breakdown in the criminal justice system. If this guy was able to have 6 convictions and never did any real prison time,
We turned up a private driveway,
he was living like a king off of us.
climbing into an exclusive corner of Orange County.
It's 8 bedrooms, 10 bathrooms.
Randall faces up to 30 years in federal prison. He didn't want to talk to us for the story. The federal government will try to recover some money by auctioning his assets, but Asalee warns, in other cases, they can't get back the money.
We see a lot of that money leave the country quickly. And once the money leaves the country, it's much more difficult, if not impossible, for us to trace it or recover it.
Investigating government fraud is a priority for Haywood Talcove. He's been warning officials about scams for 2 decades.
U.S. taxpayers lose $1 trillion a year to these criminal groups.
Where's it going?
It goes to Russia, it goes to China, it goes to Nigeria, it goes to Romania, and it's never to be seen again.
By his estimate, of that $1 trillion, roughly 70% ends up in the hands of transnational criminal gangs.
Taxpayers are funding transnational criminals who are using this money for horrible things: child trafficking, drugs, threats to our democracy.
Cars, cards, compounds. This is what fraud looks like after it's already happened. Asalee and Talcove agree.
That is why it is so important that the money never goes out in the first place.
100%. And the only way to do anything about it is to stop it. And then once we catch them, prosecute them, punish them, show other people, if you do this and you get caught, you will have nothing. You will stay in prison and be penniless. You won't end up with what you think you're going to get. And we've got to follow through with it. So I hope that that's the road we're going to be taking. People keep saying, no, it's never going to happen. Well, that's because it hasn't happened in the past, but we don't have the same administration we've had in the past either. So, and these people have been, had attempted threats on their lives. They've been, tons of bad stuff happened to these people. And, I mean, look at Stephen Miller and his wife had to move out of their home and move on to a military base to live because of the wife and the children being threatened by their neighbors and stuff. It's pathetic how sick some of these people are. So, Ruben, are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay, so make sure, because here I'm going to bring up another one now. So make sure that you weren't too tired or whatever. Okay. Okay, I think it's this one, number 11. Hopefully this is it. Yeah. Okay, now this one's another one of those ones that I like to share because it's sad news because it happens in the first place, but it's good news whenever we capture these people. Florida just busted a massive international child pornography ring with over 100 million videos, basically a lot, 1 million videos, but involved, including babies. if you're a child predator, if you are one of these sick people, then I hope you never see the sun again. But I'm going to play this video for you because it's sad that we even have to do this. But the fact that you have Florida and a few other states leading the way and trying to, using the FBI to help them, break these cases open, and hopefully they'll be prosecuting them. But to save our kids, I mean, we've got to stop these people.
Busting an international child pornography ring. We will be bringing charges against 8 individuals this morning, 7 of whom are Florida residents. As a dad of 3 little ones, it's tough to talk about some of this stuff, but what these guys were doing was truly heinous. There's not a word in the English dictionary that can describe the gross content that was on the videos. Our investigators have been able to get their hands on over 1 million videos.
I can barely hear anything.
Sexual abuse
Mhm.
of minors. Many of these individuals were babies.
I got them turned up, though, as loud as I can get it.
Around the world. The 2023 National Center for Missing and Exploited Children reports over 36 million instances of suspected child sexual exploitation and over 100 million files related to child sex abuse material. And that's only what's getting reported. This continues to be a problem in our country, in our state. Protecting our kids is not an easy task to begin with. And today, with the access to the internet and social media, it allows these sick predators to more easily get access to our kids. And as I've said, my first 5-6 weeks on the job here, that's going to be a major priority for my office. The individuals that are being busted today that purchase this harmful content, many of them found it through TikTok. It was available online. They found access to a portal where they could purchase this dangerous material. TikTok has shown they can very quickly get stuff off their website. If there's unlicensed music or something going around, they've proven with a flip of a switch, they can get it off. And it's taken too long for them to get some of this pornographic material and avenues to purchase harder, more gross content. We've got to get them to be more accountable. So we will be working on that. We are going to hold social media companies accountable that put our families and our kids in jeopardy. So today, these 8 defendants are being charged with multiple felony counts, including RICO, money laundering, and purchase of child pornography. Again, I can't tell you in words how gross this content is, but it shows the dangers, the evil that's out there. It is truly evil. And you've got my word that in this state, we are going to do everything we can to hold these people accountable. If you are a child predator, if you are one of these sick people, then I hope you never see the sun again. And I hope you certainly never have access to kids again. So we will continue that fight. And I want to give a very special thanks to Rita Peters from Statewide Prosecution for leading this fight. She's going to slap these guys around in the courtroom. And unfortunately, I'm figurative in that comment, but thankful to her, as well as investigator Abby George, who busted the case. So thank you. I'll turn it over to Commissioner.
It's disgusting, the fact that we even have to talk about porn with kids and horrible pictures of kids being abused. It's disgusting. Though that the fact that these people can even get to breathe the same air the rest of us get is pathetic. But I just wanted to share that because it's nice to see these people fighting for the kids and fighting to rid our streets and our communities of these type of people and put them in prison. So I hope they can get many, many more, and that this isn't the only state, that we can get more and more states to help us clean house. Because to me, that's the number one thing, is to keep our future generations safe so that we can, see them grow up, because they're the ones that are going to take over when we're not around anymore. But here is something that I thought was pretty interesting when I saw it and I found it. So let me pause it, make sure it doesn't start until we're ready. But this is a resurfaced 2008 video of Barack Obama referring to himself as a jihadist. An ABC reporter quickly interrupts with Christian, prompting Obama to correct himself from jihadist to Christian. So here we go. I'm going to play this for you. And I'll share this in the chat also, the links. I always put all the links in there. Oops. Sorry, I got to turn that down. Do what? What'd you say?
From Stephanopoulos. It's stupid. He's an idiot.
Yeah, I know. Here we go.
You're absolutely right that John McCain has not talked about my Muslim faith, and you're absolutely right that that has not
Christian
come my Christian faith. You're absolutely right that John McCain has not.
See, I'm going to share that with a lot of people were saying that I was full of shit when I said that he was a Muslim. When I tell people he's a Muslim, he's a Muslim.
Why are retards in your chat?
Huh?
Why do you have retards in your chat? I don't know why.
I don't know.
We get people. It's so funny.
I know it's really sad, but I don't know why, because they have nothing better to do than harass me, I guess.
I don't know. He's had too many martinis.
It makes them feel manly or something.
But who the? I don't understand.
I have no idea.
It's a wrench. What's a wrench talking about this?
I don't know. I'd have to go look.
That are idiots.
I think he's being sarcastic. But the whole thing about this, and that all the media used to cover for him, cover for him and Biden, right? And but we, the people, can't get the truth out of them. You know what I mean? It's I don't know. It's really, really sad that that's the predicament we're in. So I don't know. It's really bad. But let's see. Okay, let me take that one down and bring up this next one. I think it's the second part of the Obama stuff. So here we go. Let me get it up here. Number 12. Yeah, here we go. Here's the other one that I found I thought was interesting. It always starts when I don't want it to. But it says the person that posted it said that this is the Manchurian fraud. Barack Obama didn't even qualify to run for president in 2008, basically. So here we go. I'm going to share this video.
2008 race. Democratic operatives in Indiana were convicted of faking signatures on the presidential petitions that put then Senator Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton on the ballot. So many signatures were phony that authorities said the president may not have actually had enough signatures to qualify for the primary ballot. So you didn't write that?
I did not.
You didn't cast a ballot?
I did not.
Did you vote?
No.
Did you fill out an absentee ballot?
Nope.
Did you fill out an absentee ballot application?
Nope, I didn't fill out any of those.
So your vote was a fraud?
It was.
In Kentucky, prosecutors said 20 public officials stole elections by buying votes, spending $400,000 to buy 8,000 votes over several elections. You sold your vote?
Mm-hmm.
How much did you sell your vote for?
$25.
Well, in Cincinnati, veteran poll worker Miller Reese Richardson was charged with voting in the 2008 and 2012 presidential election, not once, but 2 and 3 times. She pled no contest to 4 counts, including voting for her sister, who had been in a coma for a decade. In Pennsylvania, 7 election officials have been hit with election fraud charges, deaths in the last year and a half, from cases of illegal voting to tampering with voting machines and adding phony votes. A 2012 report by a Philadelphia Republican city commissioner found voting by non-registered individuals, voting divisions with more votes than voters, individuals voting more than once, and voting by non-U.S. citizens. And election fraud actually hit the race for the White House in the 2008 race. Democratic operatives in Indiana were convicted of faking signatures on the presidential petitions that put then Senator Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton on the ballot. So many signatures were phony that authorities said the president may not have actually had enough signatures to qualify for the primary ballot. Is that your signature on this?
That's not my signature.
Did you sign this petition for Barack Obama?
No.
You did not?
No.
I did not sign for Barack Obama.
So someone forged this?
That's correct.
Well, so this is how it worked in Indiana. It is unbelievable. You need 500 signatures from each congressional district in Indiana. In South Bend, President Obama qualified with 534 signatures. The prosecutors said 100 to 200 signatures were faked. So that brings the Obama number down below the legal number that he needed to qualify. The prosecutor told me, had this been caught at the time, Maria, the president probably would not have qualified for the ballot and would have been bounced from that primary ballot. But all this fraud wasn't caught until 3 years after the election.
This is unbelievable.
The thing is, if Hillary had known, I can tell you right now, she would have made sure that he didn't get on the ballot, because she was not happy that that was taken away from her. And she was not happy about it. But the fact that somebody helped this guy, Obama, and didn't help Hillary, it's interesting, because I thought they all work for the same people, but apparently a different group of people was behind Obama than the ones that were behind Hillary Clinton. So I just think that's kind of interesting, because both of them were in the same administration together too. So I don't know. I don't understand it, but it you know, that's the way it worked out. I just was shocked that, you know, that I don't know. That they frauded each other out, you know, that they were because you know that Hillary Clinton was caught backstabbing Bernie Sanders, you know, to keep him out. So it's sad to see how much actual backstabbing goes on behind the scenes, even with both parties. You know, it's pretty sad, because you can't trust anybody. I mean, honestly, you can't trust anyone. Everyone's out to kill you. Everyone's out to take you out of the out of the program. They don't want you running here. They don't want you working with them. They don't want you to get that job or the better dress or the better pants or, you know, whatever it is. They don't want you to have anything better than them or their position, the position they want. And it's funny is that they both look at something and one's looking over there and one's looking over there. But then when they notice the other one looking at something, they have to look at it. And then they want the same thing that the other person has. You know, the greed, it just eats you away, because you want to have something better than the person next to you has. So you stand out in the crowd or whatever. I don't know. I don't know. It's just really sad, the situation that these people have put our country in, simply because they wanted more than instead of earning it, they just took what they wanted, you know, from us, the taxpayer. And, you know, our great grandkids will be doing without, simply because these people felt like they deserved it more than we did, the ones that actually worked for the money. And it's sad anybody gets away with that shit. And I would love to see some people put in prison for it. So I'm waiting to see what happens in the next 2 years. And I'm hoping that I'm not dashed where I end up getting my Canadian citizenship and moving out of the States, because I can't trust anybody here. So it's going to be sad if that happens, but I don't want it to happen. But, you know, there's always something else I can do, you know. I wish everybody had an option to do something different. But here's another thing I thought was pretty interesting when I saw it, because Gunther doesn't always have, you know, really interesting stuff. But this one was interesting because I had never seen it before. I never heard of it. I never even what they're talking about. These people up here. I'm going to make it a little bigger. But here we go. Listen.
Immigrant to our country. Right. That's a businessman. But he's funding terror. Yeah, I mean, he's very wealthy. He's a California tech exec. His name is Yamshid Gomi. He was arrested. He was
turned up all the way.
running a massive
Yeah, I have it turned
decades-long
up.
scheme
But you got to remember,
illegally
this is
sell U.S.
somebody
computer equipment to Iran's
putting it on
military
top
and
of the
nuclear
video that they're
programs.
doing.
He's a dual U.S. Iranian.
Remember earlier, I played that thing where the guy with all the money and the cars and all that kind of stuff. This goes along with the same thing. You know, they're sending money to all these people.
Turned up at all.
Do what?
I don't think it's turned up at all.
Yeah, it's turned up as loud as I can get it. See,
Can
look.
you show me? Okay.
Yeah,
Oh.
right here. Look. See,
Weird.
it's all the way up. And I'm turning my speakers up to go into the microphone to help out. But when a person makes one of these videos on TikTok like this, he's making a video with the original video behind him. See what I'm saying? So it's dubbed over. So it's going to dull the original video's noise down more. But I couldn't find this anywhere else. That's the problem. I couldn't find this actual video. I was looking for it, trying to find it with all the other videos that I found. But so, you know, it's the best quality one I could get. But I don't like it when they do this. This, you know, I'd rather just retweet it and have my little post above it and have the original video to play so other people can listen to it and actually hear it. But because he's not even speaking or anything. So he just wanted to be on camera. So it hurts the quality of the other video. But here we go.
Citizen. He's living in this $35 million mansion in Orange County. And from 2017 to 2023, his company allegedly sold critical components directly to the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran.
Did you hear what he said? He was selling computer equipment to Iran. This guy that was arrested. That's why I was trying to find this. He was selling. I'm wondering if this whole thing has anything to do with what's going on right now with Iran. Remember when it first started, you and I and a couple others were talking about there's got to be more to this. It's not just them stopping people from going through the strait, because they've been doing that for as long as I've been alive. I'm sure as long as you've been alive, right? So that it was just interesting that they were specific about that, about them not getting nuclear capabilities and all that. And that's what this guy was doing. This man was selling computer equipment, for them to run their nuclear programs with. But listen to the very last part of it. I'm going to go back up here again, but listen to try to really listen. I'm going to turn it up as loud as I can. I mean, it's loud as I think it is. It's all the way up, like on my speakers. So here we go.
And nuclear programs. He's a dual U.S. Iranian citizen. He's living in this $35 million mansion in Orange County. And from 2017 to 2023, his company allegedly sold critical components directly to the Atomic Energy Organization of Iran.
Atomic Energy Organization of Iran is who he was selling all this nuclear information and stuff on these computers and stuff. So it's very interesting. That's why I wanted to share this, because of the stuff that's going on in Iran right now with our country. I think it's a lot deeper than what we think. Just like I try to tell people, what we get, the little tidbits here and there, is just a part of it. Okay, we're not there. So people pointing the finger and acting like they know everything that's going on just makes you look dumb, because none of us do. Unless you're in that room with those people, you don't know what the hell's going on, honestly. So we have to trust the people that are there, because we have no other option. And if you voted for them, you got to hope that you voted with your gut and that what you believed is true. And as of right now, I do believe that the people that I voted for are trying to fix this ginormous mess that we're in. They're finding fraud out the wazoo. It's going to be shocking when we find out all of it. But we have to be patient, because look how many people right now, just as of today, with all the information we found, how many trials we're going to have. Just for treason against the people in J6, just for that. And then now the fraud in Minnesota, the fraud in California, the fraud in Ohio. I mean, it's just everywhere. We're going to have courts going 24/7. And then they They got to house these people. We got to keep them in jail. You got to do all this stuff. It's going to be a lot of work. And everybody's be bitching and moaning. Then it's taking so long. Now I got to pay for them to be in prison. Blah, blah. You know, it's just going to never end because people are never going to be happy with anything. And you just can't do anything about that. You can't please everyone. It's impossible to please everyone. You know, because you could get all dressed up to go out to dinner and you go out and the person says, oh, you had a lot of wrinkles in your shirt, you know, or, you know, your lipstick color was not very good, or, you know, there's always something wrong with you. You're never going to be good enough for anybody. So one person might like what you're wearing and the other person will hate your hair. That person likes your shoes and that person thinks your pants look like shit. So, you know, stop trying to please anyone. Be yourself, wear what you want to wear, and say fuck you to the people that don't like what you do. So, you know, that's basically the only options we have is to just let it happen and try to back the people when it does happen. Because if nobody wants to be on a jury, how are they going to have a jury trial? See, if nobody steps up to the plate. I did it. I went and I sat every time they called me and sat there and waited to see whether or not I was going to have my name pulled out of a hat to go and be interviewed to be on a jury for federal court and for a regular jury. I did both of those last year. So, and I did it because I pray that one day if anything ever happens and I'm having to go to court because I'm accused of a crime, that I have a jury of people that actually want to be there instead of saying, oh, fuck it, I'm going to hang whoever I get on jury for, you know. Shit like comments like that is just stupid, because that's one reason why it takes so long and why we end up getting so many judges just throwing shit out, because they don't have anybody. They don't have decent people that want to make sure that that person gets a fair trial, even if you think they're guilty before you've even seen all the evidence. You know what I mean? That's what's sad. That's why you get thrown out, because if you can't go in there and be honest and sit there and look at the evidence and try to weigh it the best you can with whatever knowledge you get from the court, how are we supposed to ever fix any of this when nobody wants to do anything? Nobody has an attention span longer than one day. It's just pathetic. I don't know what happened to everybody. I mean, I remember waiting, you know, a whole year to find out what I was going to get for my birthday, and a whole year about what I was going to get under the tree for Christmas, not opening my gifts early and sneaking around trying to see what's in there, stuff like that. It's just really sad that people don't want surprises. People don't want to wait to see what's going to happen, or wait long enough so they can collect the things they need to make sure the person gets prosecuted or whatever. So I don't know. It's just really sad that we have so many people that have no attention span. And these are grown people. These aren't 12-year-olds. These are 30, 40, 50, 60-year-olds that act like they're 10. You know, I can get what I want. You know, that kind of shit just drives me nuts. It's terrible. But do you have any comments about the video we just watched, Ruben? Okay, so I'm going to bring up the next one because I only got like, I think 5 different things. Oh, this one's pretty interesting. And the piece after it's really good too, I think. Totally off of the fraud though. This is going in another direction, but it's still really, I think it's important that we know it. It's from Joe Rogan's show with him talking about the tick stuff. So hold on, let me push pause. Okay, here we go.
Ticks. Watch that thing.
The tick thing is nuts.
Yeah,
especially
because of meat, because of Gates.
Well, there's
Bill Gates,
boxes
not
people
Matt.
are finding. I don't know if this is true because I've seen many reports on it, but I'm just going to say what I saw. That farmers and ranchers are finding boxes of ticks on their property. Now, I don't know if that's fake. I don't know if someone's setting that up to pretend they found these boxes of ticks, but there's videos of these people finding boxes of ticks.
Now, what they'll say is they'll probably say they're sterile ticks and that we're planting them out there so we can diminish the population is what they'll say. But anytime they try to mess with the balance of nature, it never goes right.
Is that what they're saying? This is
No, but just get ready.
That's
What
you're
you're
think?
getting it right here.
I don't believe you have a right to go to someone's
I don't-
property
no
and drop
way.
off sterile ticks.
No way in hell.
That's crazy either way. But I have a good friend of mine who got bit by the Lone Star tick and has that alpha gal problem.
Yeah, a guy came out of my house yesterday looking at putting gutters up at our house. And that guy, he said, and I said, you did what? He goes, yeah, I can't eat anything any meat produced by a mammal.
Yes.
I was like,
yeah.
just-
So my buddy, he had it, and my friend Evan, so he had it for a little while, and then he did a bunch of treatments and got off of it, and then started eating steak again, and he was fine for about a year and a half, and then it came back stronger than ever, and he just can't shake it.
He's
He
been
can't
around that
shake it.
long, so
Oh
I
yeah,
haven't-
he can only eat eggs. I mean, he's basically eating eggs and vegetables. That's all he's eating. And every time he tries to deviate, he has a horrible reaction. It makes, for people that don't know, it makes your body allergic to red meat.
Right. And who has got genetically made meat now?
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Bill Gates.
Yeah, okay. So you heard that. You get bit by a tick and you end up getting to where you can't eat red meat. Okay. And then they're saying that somebody's taking ticks and putting them on people's property and stuff like that. Supposedly that could be carrying some kind of virus or whatever. But then after I watched that earlier in the day, a couple days ago, then I got this next one sent to me and I was like, you gotta be kidding. So I'm going to share this. It's really, really interesting. I think it's this one. Oh, terrible at this. Okay, this is Shadow. Okay, here it is. I got to pull this one up. This is it right here. Okay, I'm push pause. It says here, Fox News confirms that Pfizer already has a vaccine ready to prevent infections from tick bites, which is considered safe and effective. It's just, you can't make this shit up. I mean, if somebody did this in a movie, no one would think it was possible that this would ever happen. But in real life today, this is what's happening. Supposedly, people are finding boxes of ticks on their property. People are getting bit. Now they can't eat red meat. They're trying to lower the carbon, and stuff, all this shit. And they're trying to figure out ways to make it so people don't eat meat because it makes you fart less and you don't need cows that fart. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. It's just really, really scary. And the fact that Bill Gates has a whole factories that make fake meat. So you can eat fake meat, lab grown meat or whatever. But I'm going to play this for you. So here we go.
Is this vaccine available now?
This vaccine is not available now. It should be available in a few months. I have a feeling with this Spotlight, they may fast track it. It's a completely safe vaccine based on older technology. It's not something that we don't know about. It's using proteins and basically peptides to target the Lyme, part of the proteins on the Lyme Borrelia, it's called, the bacteria itself. Very, very, very promising. It's going to be useful. Last time we had a Lyme vaccine, nobody took it. This vaccine is safe, effective. I think we're going to get a lot of use out of it.
So is this the sad truth is who's going to believe it after everything that's another thing. Did they do what they did with COVID to get people to not want to take vaccines at all? See what I mean? So that nobody trusts.
But they're not. But the thing is that first off, it wasn't a vaccine; it was a medication. And again, for the sniffles, no, I'm not doing it. And they're still selling it today, whatever. But this is about Lyme disease. Lyme disease was manufactured by the government. So the fact that they have this, vaccine, it's because they fucked up. They did it themselves. They're the ones that caused it all.
I was just sharing this. That's interesting. Maybe. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I have no idea. Thank God I can eat meat. I love meat and I love milk. If I ever found out I was allergic to milk, I just have to take a bath in itch cream every night or something. I don't know what I would do because, I just love milk. I just absolutely love milk. So, I don't know, but I just thought that was really interesting how I got both of those in one day. One was early in the day and then late in the day, I got this other one sent to me. And I was like, what? I can't believe this, that I'm not going to do it. I didn't even do the COVID vaccine. I'm definitely not going to do one for ticks. And I live in a state that's filled with ticks. I mean, all kinds of ticks, snakes, rattlesnakes. We have copperheads. We have water moccasins. I mean, we got tons of tarantulas. I mean, we've got so many predators. It's scary. But here is another one. that I thought was interesting when it came to down my timeline. This is the because remember the whole thing with January 6th, so many people across the aisle from me were saying that he incited people to go to the Capitol and cause chaos, and that they took weapons with them to do damage, and you know, all this different stuff. And then I saw videos later, leaked videos, and I had friends, live streamers. We had friends, you and I both, that were there live streaming, and I had them telling me, look, these Antifa people are changing into Trump attire, you know, behind the fence and stuff like that. And they had their stuff taken from them. You know, they had their information taken away from them. So they weren't able to put it on their channel. And the ones who tried to put it on their channel were getting in trouble. So it was all a big, you know, FU is what it was to anybody that thought that Trump was going to win, you know, that type of thing. So it was a mess. I mean, I think it was. But this says it's the deleted video that Dorsey took down by Pelosi and the Bidens' demands on Twitter to censor the truth. This was the video that Trump had put up. This is when Trump was taken off of Twitter. This is a January 6th U.S. Capitol Trump cheer on peaceful and patriotically. So I just wanted to play this for you. It's only a minute long, but for anyone who wasn't able to see it because it was taken down so quickly. But see, I lost my account back then, my American Woman account. Yeah, it's old. That's what I'm saying. It happened way back then, but they took it down. But a lot of people weren't savvy enough to keep a bunch of stuff, download things and stuff. Now, see, I do a lot now. I got so much little sticks with stuff on it because I want to keep it, and I can't keep it on my computer because I wouldn't have enough space. But I keep a lot of stuff now simply because I might need it next month or whatever for something to prove my point, because people say, oh, that never happened or whatever, just like this. So I wanted to play this for you because thankful that someone else decided to keep it and thought it was important.
We're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity.
See, he didn't incite anything. So I think it's very, very telling. But I'm definitely going to share. I'm going to get the link for this and share it in the chat, because I clicked the thing to save the chat replay so that it always plays what the chat said. And I'm going to share that real quick. So hold on. Let me get over here, put that in here. So I think it's important. Because, man, it's a lot of work. Because I had someone ask me about the show that we did when they were talking about the $2 million slush fund they had for all the people that were accused of groping or, you know, accosting someone in Congress. And they would just take the money and to pay people non-disclosures, right? To get it, they'd pay them cash and have them sign a paper saying that here's the money, you just shut up and I'll give you the money, you know, that type of thing. And someone didn't believe me that they had a slush fund for them, and I said, yeah, they do, and they use it too. And I was sharing it because I had to watch like 35 episodes. Remember where it was, because I at the beginning, when I first started doing this, I never named my shows. It just said the Friday Night Shit Show. And then it said, I hope he brought alcohol. Remember, that was all I ever did it on it. But now I started naming it. So it's easier for me to go, oh yeah, it was on that episode. And I'm going to go, just pull that out now. So it's a lot harder to do this kind of stuff than I thought it was, because I've been trying to go through and fix everything to make it a little easier for me to find stuff later on. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, and hopefully other people will see it. Okay, I got 2 more little deals. Let me see. I'm trying to remember which ones. Oh, they're both the same thing. One of them is the opening for it, and the other one is the actual web page for it. And I'm going to share it. But I thought this was pretty good too, because we do have FBI. We do have FBI websites for every single state. Every single state has FBI offices. And if you need to get a hold of the FBI in your state, you just look for your FBI Arkansas or FBI Little Rock or whatever. There's a news alert from the FBI Detroit. 2 researchers with the National Institute of Health were charged with conspiracy to smuggle monkeypox into the United States and giving false statements to federal law enforcement. A federal complainant alleges that the researchers told Customs and Border Protection their case contained diagnostic and testing equipment. However, an investigation by CBP and FBI agents uncovered 113 vials, 18 of which have been verified to contain monkeypox as of today's date. The investigation was conducted by the FBI Detroit Joint Terrorism Task Force, along with the assistance of the FBI Billings, Missoula Resident Agency, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection Team at Detroit Metro Airport, and the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. So I wanted to read that to you. That's pretty scary to think about. People that supposedly work for that agency is trying to fraud the government and sneak stuff in that they know they're not supposed to have. That's kind of scary, because we don't know who we can trust anymore. We don't even know if we can trust the doctor or the nurse at our doctor's office, let alone someone that's an official that can get their hands on something that can get a bunch of people sick. Ever since I watched this documentary many, many years ago, and I like documentaries, the ones about police and murderers and things like that. It was a cult group, and they were in one of the northern states, and there was like 100 of them. And some of them didn't stay at the camps or whatever they had. Other ones stayed in different areas around where they lived. But somehow 1 or 2 of them had some kind of like bacteria and some other stuff that they had gotten from a lab. They had taken it. And what they had done was they took little spray bottles and they put it in these spray bottles, and they went into the city and were spraying it on salad bars and stuff. And they got arrested. These people all got arrested. But the scary thought that a small group of people with one person that's able to get stuff from somewhere like this smallpox or monkeypox or, whatever other thing, it's so scary because we have so many people that hate each other, just because of their religion or their politics or their skin color, whatever it is that they hate about them, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to take them out. And we have to have other people that care enough about other people to stop these people, to be able to call the police if they know that something bad's about to happen, or they think they see something that's suspicious, to not be embarrassed to call 911, because I would. And if, I'm embarrassed, But if I can stop somebody from hurting people, that's what I want to do. Sorry, I got a dry spot in my throat. I've been drinking like crazy. Decongestants make you thirsty, but they're not really making me not have a stuffy nose. It's just weird. But I'm going to share that. I'm going to share that in the chat real quick. And then also the website that I clicked on, because there's a link there on this one. Hold on, I'm going to share this real quick. And then I'm going to close this, and then I'm going to open the other one that I found, because I clicked the link on the one I just showed you. And this is where it took me. So hold on. I'm so slow at this. I'm not a pro. Oh, I wish I was good at it. But this is the website. United States Attorney's Office for Eastern District of Michigan. And that is their website. It says feds charge foreign nationals working at the National Institutes of Health with smuggling monkeypox into the United States and lying about it. This is scary, don't you think? How come these people are allowed to get their hands on this kind of stuff? Why are we letting anybody that's not an American in any of these labs? Because see, I just don't understand that. Maybe in a college or whatever, you would be able to get something, but not anything deadly, not anything that can become a pandemic. But the fact that we have people that aren't even Americans in our country doing this, and it's bad enough that guy that was in New Orleans that ran over all those people down Bourbon Street, I guess it was, in the middle of Mardi Gras, whatever. He was an American that had been, brainwashed into wanting to do jihad or whatever it was. And that's bad enough. But he was still an American. But to know that we have people from other countries that absolutely hate America and what she stands for, coming in here and being able to get their hands on stuff or bring stuff in to be in our labs to do who knows what with, is ridiculous that we even have that. To me, that doesn't make any sense, at least not right now with the way things are going, with all these people that want to, do harm to us. We need to really think about that, I think, about who's able to touch anything, especially if you only have one boss that's dirty, okay? But that boss, I'm sure sometime, even though he's the only one that's dirty, he's going to be in that lab by themselves. You see what I mean? So I don't know. I'm just saying it's scary. And I'm not trying to be black-pilled. I'm just saying that we need to start looking at lots of different areas and paying more attention to who goes in and out and what they have on them when they go in and out too. And if it wasn't for those agents that stopped them and thought something was not right and checked their bag, who knows what could happen. And that other person, what was the other, last Friday we talked about the people in Vegas that had that guy in Vegas, or the two people that had that lab in their house. Remember, they had whole bunches of viruses and stuff. So it's scary, the thought that you can just get online and use the right code words and order from China whatever kind of virus or bacteria or whatever you want, and have a lab in your garage or in your He-Man shed in the backyard. I even watched another documentary where this guy was ordering stuff and he was trying to gene splice in his backyard in a shed, and he had some kind of glow-in-the-dark fish genes, and he was trying to splice them with his dogs, because he had two really like Rottweiler type dogs, and a male and a female, and he was wanting to breed them, but he was wanting to splice in these glow-in-the-dark cells or whatever into the dog so that they would glow, that their fur would glow or something. He was trying to do that. And I was like, the fact that these people could order this stuff and do this kind of stuff in their backyard should scare people, because we don't know what they're doing. We don't know what these people are up to. But I'm not saying go to their house and raid them without any proof. But what I'm saying is we should know what's coming in the mail into our country, period. Because like people say, oh, we opened a package, it had suspicious substance inside of it. We don't know what it is. Is anybody watching any of these pandemic movies, about, rabies and whatever else, other stuff that gets spread out and people die from it? I mean, to me, it's all looks like it's potentially something that could happen today, the way things are set up. But the fact that anyone and their brother can start a gene splicing laboratory in their yard, their backyard, their garage, it's kind of scary to think about the technology that we have and that everyday people can get it. But, so just watch your backs, people, and pay attention to what's going on around you. But that's the last story I had, Ruben. Is there anything you'd like to bring up?
No, I'm good.
Okay. So I'm going to close this out. You got anything going on special right now?
No, just I'm trying to find a place to go because I got to get out of here, but I can't leave until after the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the funeral's not happening
next weekend.
No, July 25th.
Oh, July. Okay, I was thinking it was June for some reason.
No. So I'm gonna go there, and then basically, I still have to get rid of all her stuff and everything like that. So I'm gonna do that, but I'm looking for a new place to go. So I'm just trying to figure out a place to go that's gonna be not, where I can, start over. Because again, the one thing I have never done is I grew up in Laredo, Texas, and Laredo, Texas is completely retarded. So I never talked to anybody down there because I don't talk to people in Laredo. They're just idiots. They're fucking morons. And then Chicago, and I tolerated it because again, the culture was good. The musical culture, things that I liked. But the last 20 years have been just horrifying, and then the last 10 have been bad. So it's just not. I don't want to have to stay here if I don't do that. But I have a interview, hopefully, for a job here. But if it falls through, it falls through. Whatever. I'm still trying to apply at places. I'm applying all over, but I'm just trying to apply for remote work. So I'm looking around, but I want to know where to go now. I'm trying to figure it all out. I don't know. I have no idea. I want to go somewhere where I can just, again, be normal. I want to have, normal people, no people chimping out, no people, no. I don't want to have any deal with any foreign retarded people. I want just a normal life. I'm done.
Well, I hope you can find it. I really do. And I hope that everything goes smoothly for the service and everything.
Yeah.
So,
I hope so too. I have to print a few things out because again, she was writing some stuff. I wrote a eulogy for her, so I'm gonna just print that out and all that stuff. So I'm doing a lot of things.
Yeah, well, good. I'm glad that you were there for her. But tomorrow I'll be playing at Bruce's. I think it's our high level game where I'm a priestess and I have a familiar a tiger, that helps me, defends me while I'm weak or whatever. It's Pathfinder, and we roll dice and do all that stuff.
Right?
Huh?
It's like Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. So I'll be playing that tomorrow. And then Sunday, Bruce and I will be watching the movie The Deadpool with Clint Eastwood. It's the final installment of the Dirty Harry series. And so we'll do that. And then after that, we'll be doing the review. So anyone that's interested and that wants to watch the movie with us, let me know on X. And I will invite you to watch it with us if you'd like. But we have a good group of people that we sit around and we watch the movie and then we talk about it and try to find trivia and other stuff like that, because that's where I hear the most interesting things about stuff I didn't even realize anything about, is that when you have 5 or 6 people all digging, you can find some pretty good stuff, good tidbits of information about a movie that I haven't even seen it. So I haven't even seen the movie at all. And it's going to be fun. But that's what I have going on. So you guys have a wonderful night. And thank you for hanging out with us. And Hope you have a great weekend. See you later.
Boys and girls all over the world are being abused and tortured.
The worst moments of these children's lives, they're being videotaped and they're being shared with other offenders all over the world.
Many people would refer to this as CSAM, child sexual abuse material.
They are suffering and they don't think that anyone is coming to help them. But we can. We can build that army and we can go get them.
Come be a part of this team that is trying to push back this evil.